Hey everyone, it's Charlene. Today we are going to make this super cute polar bear card using some products from Picket Studios. First, we're going to start out using the A2 Scene Building Rectangle 2. This is a great cover plate die. You can use those inset pieces or you can leave them out. I went ahead and took out the inset pieces so there's not going to be a gap around my little inset parts. That'll make a little more sense as we move on. But I am using this super cute stamp set. It's a Polar Bear Christmas. And I'm using some of the stamps to stamp with embossing ink on those little inset pieces. So on this center piece, I have stamped out this adorable Christmas tree that has little fish hanging from it as ornaments, and I just can't get over how cute this is. And I'm heat embossing it here with some silver embossing powder. I'm going to do the same thing with two other inset pieces. So you see those two tiny little blue pieces I have there on my MISTI. I am going to stamp my sentiment on one of them, and that's this Ho Ho Snow stamp, which I think is just super cute. And then for the other one, I will be stamping a tiny Santa with his sleigh and reindeer. This stamp set is great for winter time, for the holidays. You can make a variety of cards with it, and I'll show you the full set here in just a few minutes. You can see over there in my MISTI, I have the outline die cut in my MISTI, and then I inset the little pieces when I am stamping them with my embossing ink. That makes it a little easier because then the pieces don't move around. They have a place to hang out and stay. You also could use a sticky mat to hold everything down. I found that the pieces were tight enough in there and I could put my magnet on there, so I didn't need to use my sticky mat on this particular card. Now you could stamp these out and color them and leave the whole background white and just have that frame piece on top, but I wanted to do some heat embossing and some Copic marker coloring on this card. The heat embossing is pretty quick and easy, so I only have a few images I'm going to color, and it cuts down on the amount of time that this card takes to make, which is really nice. It's a bit of a quicker card for me because usually I have a lot of colored images. Now included in the set is this cute little snowflake, so I'm using two different colors of ink here. I'm using Morning and Royal from Simon Says Stamp, and I'm just stamping around in those two corners that I am not including the inset pieces from that blue background die cut. So it's going to look really cute. Now here is the full stamp set so you can see everything. There's all these cute polar bears, cookies, the tree, the light strings, some really cute sentiments, and then there are coordinating dies. So I'm stamping out with some alcohol-friendly ink. This is from Picket Studios. It's an awesome ink. It's the one I use all the time. And I'm stamping out two of the polar bears and one of the little strings of what are supposed to be lights, but again, these are also fish, and there's a little stocking on there. I think they are really cute. And the nice thing about polar bears is they are super easy to color. So for the sweater, I'm going to be using some blues, and I'm going to use that on the stocking as well. I am using B23 and B24 on the stocking, and then in the sweater, I'm going to be using B28, B29, and then on the little reindeer image on his sweater, which I think is so cute, I am using B00 and B02. I'm sticking with blues in my coloring and some cool grays because overall I'm doing a very monochromatic color scheme for this card. I've got the blue die cut and then the blue snowflake stamps that you saw, and then I'm coloring on the polar bears with blues, and then I've got the silver from the silver embossing powder. So it creates a really beautiful monochromatic look, and I love how it turns out. Now for this second little polar bear who is ice skating, I am using B00 and B02 for his scarf. And for his skates, I'm using C5 and C3. And then to shade all of the polar bears, I'm just using some C1. I love how easy polar bears are to color. You just use that C1 and go in around the edges, and there you have it. That's pretty much all there is to it. Now you could also color these bears brown and have them be brown bears. They don't have to be polar bears, or they could be black bears, whatever you wanted them to look like. Now I'm using the coordinating dies to cut everything out, and on those little fish that are on the garland, I used B02. I'm popping up the entirety of that rectangle with foam strips. Now you could make this into a shaker and it would look amazing, but I decided to just keep it as is, not include any shaker pieces in there. But I wanted to have that popped up to create that extra little bit of dimension. So now I'm coming in with some Gina K Connect glue, and then I can just pop those little pieces that I did the heat embossing. I can pop those right down in, and it just creates this fun little look. You have the pieces towards the back with the heat embossing, but then you're going to see the little polar bears and the garland. They're going to be kind of up on the upper layer. I'm going to secure them so they're sitting sort of on top of the framed piece. If you have any trouble getting your pieces aligned, you can just use some type of pokey tool and make sure you've got enough liquid adhesive down so that you can kind of wiggle around your piece until you get it in there just how you like it. Now I've got some adhesive foam, and this I've just cut off from a big roll that I have from Picket Studios, which is great. I use my non-stick scissors, which now I can't believe I went so long without them. They're awesome. But I'm popping up the little ice skating polar bear down there in the bottom left-hand side. And then for the time being, I just placed the other polar bear up there just so I could sort of see where I wanted to hang this little garland. I like this polar bear how he's reaching, because he could be reaching for the garland, he could be reaching for the tree like it's him hanging an ornament on there. It's a lot of fun. All I have left to do now is add some bling. These are the Iridescent Moonshine sequins from Picket Studios, and I'm gluing them here and there around the tree in the center. Last but not least is the sentiment on the inside of my card. I'm using this super cute sentiment. I love it so much. It says warm hugs and frosty kisses headed your way. I think that's really sweet, and that's why I said you could use this set for any kind of wintertime card, or you could use it for a holiday card. That completes my card for today. I hope you guys picked up a few tips and tricks along the way. Please be sure to hit the like and subscribe button, as well as the notification bell, so I can continue bringing you more crafty content in the future. Until next time, happy crafting.